She didn't hear the phone ring, not at first. She was in the hallway, half hidden, her body angled just enough for me to notice she didn't want to be seen. But I heard it, a soft vibration, a muffled chime, a sound that didn't belong anywhere near her at that hour. She whispered something, one word, not loud enough to identify, but soft enough to make my skin tighten. I stood by the kitchen sink, hand frozen above the faucet, listening. The house wasn't silent. The house was holding its breath. Her voice drifted out again, faint, controlled. I couldn't make out the words, but I didn't need to. It wasn't what she said. It was how gently she said it, how carefully, like she was afraid the walls would overhear a secret meant only for one person. Then the sound of a soft laugh, not her usual laugh, lighter, sweeter, dipped in something unfamiliar, something not meant for me. And that was the moment everything inside me shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly, like a blade sliding into place. When she stepped back into the kitchen, she gave me a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She said she was tired, said work was draining her, said she needed rest. I nodded. Pretending to believe her was easier than asking questions I already feared the answers to. But as she walked past me, her phone lit up again, a new notification, a name at the top of the screen. Therapist, Heart. The heart was what cut through me first, not the title, the heart. And beneath that, in the quietest part of myself, the part no one sees, something whispered, "She isn't yours anymore." It started gradually, her disinterest, her sudden cancellations, the way she stopped making plans but insisted nothing was wrong. We'd sit together on the couch, but her attention floated elsewhere. Her thumb moved across her phone in controlled, quiet motions, each swipe a small betrayal she didn't bother to hide. When I asked if everything was fine, she smiled, vaguely, said she was overwhelmed, said she needed space, said work was brutal and she'd rather not talk about it. But stress doesn't make you glow. Stress doesn't make you smile into a screen like it's a private sanctuary. Stress doesn't put a heart next to a stranger's name. I noticed the shifts, the small ones first, the ones most people overlook, the ones that matter. Her perfume changed, her showers got longer. She started wearing softer colors, lighter fabrics, as if she wanted someone to think she was gentle, someone who wasn't me. At night, she turned away from me before she fell asleep, a new habit, a defensive one, like she feared I'd ask her something she wasn't ready to answer. Then came the moment that broke the illusion entirely. A message flashed across her phone while she was in the bathroom. The preview was short but unmistakable. "Call me when he falls asleep." My breath didn't hitch, my hands didn't shake. I simply stood there, absorbing the sentence like a slow-moving poison. And in that stillness, a truth sharpened within me. This wasn't stress. This wasn't burnout. This was betrayal. Quiet, deliberate, beautifully concealed. But I didn't confront her, not then. I let the suspicion grow like a controlled fire, feeding it with silence. Because silence, I've learned, is the most powerful weapon. I began with her phone bill, simple, unassuming, something she'd never expect me to check because I'd never done it before. There it was, one number repeated at odd hours, morning, midnight, moments when she claimed she was too tired to talk. I copied the number, entered it into my phone, stared at it for a full minute. A therapist, she said. Therapists don't place hour-long calls at 2 a.m. Next came her schedule. She said she had late meetings on Thursdays. I drove past her office. The building was dark, completely silent. No cars in the lot except her coworker's old sedan, long abandoned, covered in dust. I didn't follow her, not yet. I wanted more than suspicion. I wanted truth, clean, sharp, undeniable. So I observed, quietly, meticulously, like someone studying the final movements of a creature about to trap itself. I noticed her mood swings, her sudden bursts of happiness followed by manufactured fatigue, the way she clutched her phone tighter when I walked by, the way she defended her privacy like a fragile glass artifact. And through it all, she kept insisting, "It's just work, please don't worry." But worry wasn't my problem. Deception was. Her lies weren't sloppy, they were deliberate, practiced, almost elegant. I waited, gathered evidence like a surgeon collecting tools. Step by step, I built a quiet archive of her betrayal. Then, finally, when the silence felt thick enough to cut through, I called the number. He answered on the first ring. His voice was soft, almost tender. He whispered her name like a prayer he wasn't supposed to say aloud. And in that moment, everything aligned. I printed the call logs, every late-night conversation, every hour-long exchange, every lie she fed me wrapped in stress. When she came home that evening, I didn't greet her with questions. I placed the papers on the table, each page a quiet indictment. She hesitated. Her breath hitched. Her hand trembled when she reached for the first sheet. Her face drained of color. Her lips parted, but no sound emerged. Finally, she whispered, "What is this?" I didn't answer. I just watched her read. Watched the truth unravel in her eyes. Watched the panic bloom beneath her skin. When she whispered his name, barely audible, I knew. She wasn't grieving what she'd done. She was grieving the fact that I knew. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I simply said, "I called him." Those 3 words were enough. Her knees softened. Her composure cracked like thin glass. She begged, tried to explain, tried to reshape the truth into something palatable. But I wasn't listening. I'd already made my move. I handed her the packed suitcase I prepared earlier, her clothes, her essentials, neatly folded, thoughtfully arranged, a courtesy she didn't deserve. "I know where you've been," I said quietly, "and now you can go there." She broke. Soft sobs, shattered apologies, the kind of performance meant to reach a man who still cared. But I wasn't that man anymore. When she finally walked out, the house didn't feel emptier. It felt clearer, like fog lifting from a long-forgotten landscape. I didn't wonder where she went. I didn't wonder if he'd take her in. None of that mattered. Betrayal doesn't deserve curiosity, only distance. As I locked the door behind her, a strange calm settled inside me. Not relief, not victory, just clarity. Clean, cold, absolute. She left her phone charger on the table, a small, insignificant thing. But as I dropped it into the trash, I understood something I hadn't before. She was never worth the damage she caused. And I was finally free to stop pretending she was.